There's this one. And then there is this one. Let's make sure it's all working. Test, 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 test. I think it's working. It is, it is, it is.
You can ride a bike if you want to.
Go live. We need to change. Take a photo. Flip it. Go live on this one. We've got lives going everywhere. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting everything sorted, and then I'll fill you in on what's happening today, but no one has joined just yet. So that's okay. Let's get this in here. So I need a chair because we are going to do something that I probably shouldn't be doing. We are going to be fixing something. Well, maybe we're not going to fix it. Maybe we're going to damage it. But let's see. We're going to be doing something. So I was going to bring some stuff into camera shot because we need to start looking at... Hello, TikTok. Hope you're going well. We've got TikTok and YouTube going. We're actually going to be doing something different today. We have our slot car track behind us, but we're actually going to be fitting something. We're going to be probably getting electrocuted. So if that's your kind of thing, stick around. We are going to upgrade this little guy here. We're going to be installing a switcher box, which is a very old version of an axle box, into my slot car track so we can actually run every car. So bear with me while I rip apart the track for a tick, because I do need to make some space before I start melting my table. And it is freezing today in Austria. Absolutely freezing. So we've got YouTube and we've got TikTok going. So hello guys, hope you're all well. If you do like the stream, please let TikTok know by liking it. But we do have instructions. So this is going to be soldering. This is going to be a little bit of everything. I'm just going to make sure I've got everything ready to go. Where's my solder? There it is there. And I'm going to have to take this guy apart because I forgot. So we're going to do some reading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are putting an axle box in. This one has been installed before. I think it works okay. But we're going to find out. So I'm just going to quickly go through. I've got a video on my YouTube channel on how to do this, but I can't watch them both at the same time, of course. So I'm just going to make sure I follow the steps properly because I know I've got to do some cutting. So let's do some cutting first. Let's cut this thing open. Yeah. I've got my little Dremel. That's a great start. Where's my screwy? I need my screwdriver. Ah, here it is. We've got the screwy. So I'm going to take off our plate. The most important thing. We're going to undo all of this. Making sure everyone can see what I'm doing. Can TikTok see? Can YouTube see? So we're going to take the back plate off. There is a video on my channel showing how to do this exactly. So if you do want to do this to your track, let me know. But I thought I'll go live. Got a fair bit of action there on TikTok. Hello guys, hope you're well. We've got 18 watching on YouTube. Hello YouTube, thank you for joining as always. I appreciate it. We are going to be doing some soldering. We're going to be doing some cutting. We're going to do a lot of stuff. The lawnmower just tried to eat my chairs. So we'll get some screws out the way. And at the end of this, I'm hoping that we can then run every single car. So if you do stick around to the end, we're going to put this to the test to see if I actually have made it work. But again, this is a very old version of the system. I just want to quickly get a metal tray. 2 seconds. Metal tray. And it is freezing here in Austria. Freezing. Absolutely freezing. Hello, Tommy. Hope you're well. It's really cold today. Extremely cold. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of all these screws first. Whilst I'm doing this, feel free to start up any kind of conversation. Nothing's off topic. if you have been watching regularly, we have been going live on YouTube. We've had some friggin' massive views on YouTube, so thank you everyone on YouTube. I think over the last weekend, we've had about 180, can't believe I'm saying this, 180? Hold on, 120,000 views. Our live streams have been going crazy on YouTube, so thank you guys and girls. We've been having some fun, but this is going to be a bit technical, so I will probably get electrocuted. If anything does happen to me, at least it's been recorded. So the first thing is remove all of your, oh hold on, we've got ourselves a quality control sticker. I forgot about him. Whoops, maybe we don't need to do that. We've got one, there's something stuck. We're missing something. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all good. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. We've got 44 watching on YouTube. Thank you, guys. There's another one. I think we've got a security screw here somewhere that I'm missing. I don't know. It should be here. Yeah, it is. I found it. I need, oh, where did I put it? Uh-oh. I need my screw bit that will go in, because it's like a, yeah. 2 seconds, sorry guys, I so quickly get another bit, another screw bit. Don't you worry, I'm coming back. I can't find my screwdriver, so I'm just going to have to try and use this. There is a security screw in there, so I forgot all about that. I've grabbed all the tools that I've got. Let's see if I can get that security screw out. Security screw? Security screw. All the way down in here is a... I knew it. Shit. No! I'm going to have to try. Oh, that's not good. I don't think it's going to fit down there. I think we've already had our first hurdle. I do have a screw bit for it, but I don't know where it is, and I don't want to keep leaving the live stream. It's a bit rude. So I have to go back down there and have a look and see if I can find it. But let me just try this one. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. One I prepared earlier. What am I worrying about? If I can get these screws out. And these little screw kits are really handy. So let's take that one. Oh, these are really, really in there. Is it a T6? I think it's a T6. We'll find out though. Come on, get out of there. Yeah, there you bastard. There we go. Oh, let's see if this one opens it up. Because once we get this out, then we can start looking at the circuit board. Too small? That's what she said. So it's not a T6, it might be a T8. T8. Breakthrough logs. Hello mates, hope you're well. Panthering board, thank you for the likes. Ah, we got it. Great success. So that's just going to be the security lock. Come on. Ha ha. Oh, we have now broken into the mainframe. So there's a couple things we need to do here. Firstly, we're going to have to do some soldering in no particular order. And we'll also have to do some dremeling because we're going to make some space. Good morning, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're well over there on YouTube. Hope you're well. Early, yeah, it is early. Over here we are talking, it's about 10 a.m, so not too early. So I've got a bit of a diagram here. We do have to cut some parts of our frame, which I'm going to bring back into vision. Once I get the screws out, I don't want to lose any of these screws because that's going to play a vital role. It's funny, the last time I was here in Europe, I actually did this as well. So the original time I actually did this was in Europe, which is funny because I'm back here in Europe and I'm doing it again. All right, so there's our screws. They're out the way. We've got our base now. I'm going to quickly follow the picture of what it says, we're going to have to trim away some of the plastics on this because we're going to be feeding new wire through. So I was going to make sure when I put this back, it goes back the right way because we are going to be trimming through some of the plastics. Now I'm going to quickly warn you all, if you are going to do this, your warranty is goodbye. You got no more warranty, but we're okay. But stick around. If you want to see me get electrocuted, you come to the right place. So, let me have a quick look at this. There's 2 spots. And again, I have a full video on my YouTube channel on how to do this from about 2 years ago. But because I'm using both my phones, we won't be doing that. So because I've already done this before, let's be smart about it. This is the thing we're looking at. It is a digital switcher box. This allows me to run free Israel. Whatever. I don't get involved with that stuff. I've got enough problems in my own country. But yes, support it. Go for it. Whatever. I don't get involved with the politics of it. We do have our axle box. This is what's going to help me hopefully run all brands of cars on a digital track. And because I've already done it before, I've already done some cutouts from memory. So if I flip this back over, like this, I remember she plugs in this side. Yeah, she does. So it plugs on this side like that. Or no, it doesn't. Was it the other side? It was this side. Aha, yeah, there we go, sorry. Come on, Trav. I'm a professional. So it plugs on that side. So when I flip it upside down, this is going to help us do it a lot easier. We're going to see where we need to cut because the wires are going to be going through here. And that's what it's going to look like. So we've got the base still on, but all these wires will be fed into here. Now, I hope I can get this done properly. So I'm going to have to cut away this section here. And where's the picture? We had another section as well. We've got 2 spots. It's going to be the same. Okay, so it's going to be this section here. And this section here. So let's Dremel. Let's bloody Dremel. I need some food, I'm starving. I don't have any safety glasses. That's a great start, so watch me lose an eyeball. But let's see if I've got any charge on this bastard. And we're going to need this guy. This guy. Is that the right head? No. So we have to change the internals. That's easy. That's the easy part. Let's get rid of that. Put this guy in. Is he big enough or is he too small? Ah, success. We got it. First shot. We might be off to a good start here. All right, we're going to put our Dremel part in. Here's a good, here is, don't be a smart ass, like my beanie, representing the Druin Dragons soccer team back in Australia. And if you are watching on TikTok, I'm also going live on YouTube as well. And thank you to those on YouTube. What is that? We are putting an axle box. Well, we're re-putting an axle box into our slot car track. We did this many, many years ago. This is an old unit, so I'm hoping it still works. So this here is the Carrera digital system, and we're adding a little bit of something to it, just to help us use this as an analog and a digital track. And hopefully, which one do we need? I'm hoping that the actual unit still works because it's an old version. I think it was one of the first versions he did. The hell is that? Don't know what that is, so we won't be using that. Let me just get through my little kit here. Oh, here we go. Cutting wheels. Cutting wheels. Yes, we got one of those. This is the tedious part, setting up for it. And then as soon as I turn the bastard on, watch the cutting wheel break. And I'm like, oh shit. So let's put him together. Now, I recommend wearing glasses. I honestly don't have any. So that's not a great start. So I'm going to probably stand up and stand away from the camera. So if there's any violence to my face, you don't have to see it. So it's basically an OG. It is, mate, it is the OG. Here's a funny one. Before Axlebox was big and famous, which they are now, and he's done such a good job, massive fan of the Axlebox. I reached out, we had a chat, and I think he only had like 2 or 3 units already sold. And by the time we finished our review, I think he had like 100 plus, well, I think it was like 140 or something sold within the first couple of months of the review. And now it's just gangbusters. So yes, it was the OG. Yes, we gave Axlebox the big push, which was exactly what it needed. And I'm glad that he got the push because it's a really good system. I will show you what that is in a tick, but let's move all this out the way because I don't want to be cutting our board. And before I do that, because we've got people joining back forward, so it's basically, hello from Kansas. G'day, Kansas. So if I show you the front here, we've got our axle box, which is not connected yet. We're going to be soldering that into our CU. Here is our main CU. I'm going to move that out of the way for a tick because I've only got small camera space. And now I need to remember which way it was. Now I can't remember. It was this one. It doesn't matter because we can bloody... I'm going to bring it back over. Come on, Trav. No pressure. You're only doing it live. No pressure. And I got to warn everyone who is watching, I am hopeless at this stuff. So if I can do it, you've got a very good chance. All right, so we're cutting here and here. Super. At least I know now. I'm going to leave that like that. Move this one out the way. And hopefully we can test it by the end of the stream. And... here goes my eyeballs. I'm going to stand up. You're going to get a great crutch shot. It's for the ladies out there. It's nothing too serious. You're just cutting some holes. And what these are basically for is for the wires to run through. Look at that, first shot. Still got my eyeballs. So we're just doing a bit of a rough cut, there. I think it actually turned out pretty well. My boss once shot a cutoff after I asked him a series of questions like, hey, is that the old wheel? Do you want me? You shouldn't turn away. Yeah, I've got to be careful. I know I shouldn't be promoting no glasses, but I honestly don't have them. So I am facing it away from me. We're going to do the same here. Just taking our time. I'm going to flip it upside down because we're actually hitting. Yep, that's pretty flush. Now we just go along it. And there we go. Let's just clean up the table. And it's not the cleanest. It doesn't have to be, as long as you're not doing too much. So we've actually made 2 little cuts here. Nice big section down the bottom and up here. So that's going to let the wires feed through. So I'm going to do a quick dry run. And then we're going to start reading a diagram. Can I read? I don't know. So we're going to start. So that's pretty good. You can't see that, but it looks good. Trust me. I'm a doctor. So that goes there. Now, the other thing I have to do, I have to actually take the CU apart because, the axle box apart, because the reason I got to do that, we have got a screw that's fallen through and we need that. So I'm going to quickly crack this guy open. Probably shouldn't do that because, you know, I'm not au fait at this, but we're going to crack it open because I do need to have a look inside and push that screw back through, and just to make sure the chips are right. So inside here will be some circuitry. Again, this is the real old version. There's like 45 different iterations now. He's done such a good job of making this so modern. But by the time I unscrew this, it'll be lunchtime. Let's see. So only 4 screws. I think they're actually wood screws from like Bunnings. 202 watching on YouTube. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you don't mind hitting that like, we've got 202 people watching and 3 likes. I mean, come on, come on. What's the motto? Don't be a dickhead. Get those likes up. All right, I just said that and now we only got 160. They're like, we're out of here. We're out of here, you bastard. Call us dickheads, we're gone. So we're gonna crack this open. We're gonna push the screw through. I don't have any washers for it or any nuts, but I just wanna make sure it can actually go through. I should really blue tack them under. Oh, that's really hurting my arm. I'm getting old. How's that? I can't even turn a screwdriver. So let's get that open. All right, so this is what it looks like inside, and we're not gonna touch. Is it okay? Yeah, it is okay. Yep. So having a quick look inside before I show it. So that's what's inside this little contraption. We're not going to touch inside. My main concern is there's a screw that's pushing underneath, which is pushing the CU board out the way. And I've got to get that screw down. So underneath here, we've got 2 screws that come out the bottom. And unfortunately, one of them has decided to ET go home. And I don't want it to go home. I want it to pop back out. And what it's doing is it's actually pushing the CU up, which I don't want that. So I'm going to try and push him through. And I could probably yeah, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. But once he goes through, it'll kind of hold it in place, but it's just getting it back through the hole. And I'm trying to be real gentle on the internals because it all is pretty thin wires in there. And as soon as you start snapping stuff, that's when I start losing any confidence in this working. Granted, it is quite old. Come on, go through, you bastard. Just got to feed it through. Here we go. All right, we're in. All right, I'm going to close that up. I hope I haven't moved anything. We're going to close that up now. So now we've got our screw kind of through. It's not really sitting properly. I don't like that. Get in there, you bastard. Yeah, I don't really like how that's sitting, but I can fix that later. All right, at least I know I can get in there and fix it. Let's quickly screw this back up, and then we're going to get into some soldering. This is where you're going to get your money's worth, because I probably will get burnt, and I'm going to probably fry our unit. The goal of this stream is to hopefully get this done now, and then we can test it. I'm going to put my arm down here because it's killing my shoulder. Oi, bro, got a question. What did you do to be able to go live? What do you mean? On YouTube? On YouTube? Fellow Aussie, hello, mate. What did I do to go live on YouTube? Yes. How many subscribers do you have, mate? That's the first thing. How many subscribers do you have? And secondly, how many hours do you have of views? Meaning, how many hours of viewage has your account had? Because they got some strict policies. Soldering is one of the most frustrating stuff I had to learn. I wouldn't say I've ever learned it. I'm glad you have. I actually need to learn it. I'm not a very good solderer. I think the main issue that I have is I sometimes get the wrong solder for the wrong job, meaning, I don't have enough flux, or the tip isn't hot enough. Please don't go nuts in the comments about that comment. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. I'm going to back that screw off. Oh, that sounded really bad. What did we hit? Oh, shit. I think I've already broken it before we started. Oh, no. This could be a very short live. No diddy. No diddy. It's so sad about him because I loved his music as a kid. I mean, I still love his music. You got to separate the music from him, I guess, but You know, I think the whole Hollywood thing is a bit of a freak show anyways, isn't it? I don't know what's happened with these screws. I'm just going to screw it in. I think it's going to crack. All right, you know what? We're leaving one screw in because they ain't going in. I think I've got it around the wrong way. So let's just leave those screws out. We're off to a friggin' rocking start because I came and put the screws back in. Now we're going to get into the CU. Let's get into this. This is where it gets, I've got to actually switch on here and be not an idiot, which is going to be very hard. So let's put him in place. He's going to be stuck into there. Thank you. In you go. I want to get some red tabs from a track. I'm going to get some red tabs and just lock him into place for now, just so he doesn't go dancing off on me. One. I need one more. I need one more. I need one more. Coming back. So I'm going to lock that into place without damaging anything. And I know for a fact I'm going to have to, oh yeah, I forgot. There's one part in this I don't like doing, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it, Captain. I went into the wrong hole. Shut up, chat. Let me just go back here again. There we go. So I've actually locked that into place, so that's not going to move. Now, this is where it gets tricky. This is where I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing. Because there is certain wires, they're all numbered, but there is a power wire that we're going to disconnect first. From memory. Let me have a quick read. It is freezing out here. So because of that, can you please... Thank you. So these guys here, there, we're getting rid of those. You guys, we've had enough. Oh, this is where we have to get the soldering iron out. This is where I get nervous. So let me get this little guy out. The $6 special. Yeah. Where we're going. Audio cutout. Did it really? Oh, let me have a look. Any questions? Yeah, that's for sure, Hollywood. No Diddy. Hello, hello. Hello, mates. Hello, fan. Hello, hello. How is this dangerous? How is this dangerous? Are you working at a plate voltage over 200V or is there filter caps? Mate, that is all German to me and I can't speak German. And to be honest, I don't think it's that dangerous, but I'll probably burn myself more than get electrocuted. But I don't understand what you said then. I know what 200 volts is, but I wouldn't have a clue. This is just standard voltage, so play on words. Got around about 150 views. How many followers, mate? 7. Yeah, you're gonna have to get some more followers. It is really hard. It's a hard grind. That's a question about how to go live on YouTube. I think you need 50 subscribers, I think. So if anyone in the chat, if you want to support another creator, what's his name? Boganboy78. If you guys want to go over and give him a follow, he does need about 50 subscribers so he can go live. I'm a big supporter on people able to do what they want on their channel. And I think if we give him a follow, 50 of us give him a follow, that'll get him started on be able to go live. So if you can do that, that'd be great. Also, give me your credit card detail. No, I'm joking. Give me your money. No, don't. What other questions do we have? Let me have a quick look. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, fan. I think I said that. No, Diddy. What's that? We are doing a CU conversion. I'm pretending I'm a friggin' scientist, but I'm not. I need 3 exposed gangster talking to point out I've been forced to sell my home. I want to expose it. Oh, okay. I wouldn't use YouTube, mate. I don't think that's the best place. Maybe get onto TikTok. TikTok's better for that stuff. Yeah, that's fair. Sure, as a whole. Yeah, it is. Got to separate music from personal. Correct. What kind of content did you put to get the views in order to get subs? I just put up SLOTCARS stuff, mate. What's it for on TikTok? This is for a slot car track. We are behind me. This is for TikTok. Behind me, we've got a huge racing track and we're converting it into a bit of a Frankenstein track. Also, YouTube, if you're watching, we're on the slot car track here and we're converting the original to be able to run more cars. Yeah, but it's all good now. Oh, okay. 10 minutes to warm up. Yeah. Actually, I just forgot we had the soldering iron on. Hello, Just Edits on TikTok. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I actually forgot we had it on. Thank you. Yes, 50. That's right, mate. You need 50. Me too, please, but I have no videos. Breakthrough logs, yes. Everyone, follow everyone. Please, thank you. And I have to expose some serious issues. What's a CU conversion? Is that the guy who was talking about the power? Because he's a lot smarter than me. Is that him? I don't know. No, it's not a CU conversion. What I'm doing, I am putting something into this that shouldn't be there, but it should be there from the factory. So what this does here, what you are looking at, we have digital slot cars. This is a digital slot car. Underneath here has got a digital chip, which allows multiple cars to run around the track that's behind me. And what that does though is you cannot use any other brand cars unless it's got a digital Carrera chip. Now that's very hard to replicate unless you do some cutting and shutting. So what I'm actually installing on this is a device. This is the old version. It's about 3 years old. And this is going to allow me to let this allow the non-digital cars to run, which it doesn't normally do that. It should be from factory. I think as of 2026, Carrera really need to get their shit into gear and just release one unit so everyone can buy the whole unit and then decide what they want to run. But we're going to do that for them for free. Yes, free. Oh, soldering iron. All right, so chat, remember, black is left, red is right. I don't know if I trust you guys enough to say that. Is that the one we want? Hold on. Whoa, whoa, Trav. What are you doing, you dickhead? It says blue. There's no blue. With the track wiring remaining, trim the plastics. Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to be shit. Oh, I'm just going to remove these two. Let's remove these two. Is it hot enough? Probably not, to be honest. Actually, hold on. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Let's just run this. Let's just do this because we have power here. Let's just, to CU power. Now that ain't going to work because we already crimped the shit out of that. So, let me have a quick read because I think that comes away. Gently remove the copper. Depending on your, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh no, gently remove the copper tab inserts into the track rail by, yeah, so they want this gone. I understand that. This has to go, but I don't think it has to go because we're going to go CU power. I see you power. So CU power, let's unspaghetti that. Oh, this is going to end in tears, legends. This is going to end in tears. You are so me. Don't be like me. You're gonna ruin this. So that's our CU power. No, R is for red and right. Oh, really? Thank you, TikTok. So that's the CU power. These are all actually leaded. Leaded? Marked. You're an idiot, Trav. Right lane, left rail. Fuck. Right lane, left rail. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Yep, yeah, that makes sense. And then this one's going to be, so this is where it gets confusing because is it right because it's underneath? And then right lane, left rail. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Boom, boom, boom. And then that one's going to be, take it a guess, everyone. Left lane, left rail, done. Let's just get it done. Stop piss farting around. So we are going to remove, the negative and positive from here. I'm going to do a bit of a cheat sheet. Let's just desolder. And the problem with the solder that they use on these CUs, as I say it, it's the easiest solder I've ever used. All right, so that's one gone. We've got power, baby. And, oh shit, I don't like this part. And then we're going to move this one as I burn through the track, which is another thing I did last time. I actually burnt through my track. Oh shit, I just burnt the wire. All right. Yep. Okay, that's both done. Great success. Very nice. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cheat. I really should actually solder these together because these wires are way too long. So let's do some cutting. I'm going to freaking regret this, I think. Do I just cut them? Just cut it? Because look how long that is. And that's going to spaghetti everywhere. Hold on. What's in here? Nothing. Yeah, screw it. Screw it. We're gonna cut them. Oh. I don't have scissors. Oh, I've got scissors. Hold on. Are we cutting it? Looks like he's defusing a bomb. You can't say that. You can't say that on TikTok. US, they are all called wires. Man, I wish I had that, but I spent it all on cars. Oh, F1. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, those things. Yeah, very similar to the Omnibox. Very, very similar. Cool. What brand is that? This is Axlebox. I'm going to go quickly get some scissors because I don't have cutting device. Do I? Do I have a cutting device? No. No, I do not. All right. I need to get some scissors because we're going to trim these wires. That's what we're going to do. Oh, hold on. I've got a Stanley knife, mate. I've got a bloody Stanley knife. Let's use this bastard. All right. So it is seriously long. So let's, that's what she said. Let's get it to about here. I hope so. I'm just going to cut it. Fuck it. Let's just go with it. Oh, this is so like backyard. And I am in the backyard too. Cut, you bastard. I actually need scissors. I'm making this look really hard. Yeah, give me 2 secs. Don't go anywhere. Like and subscribe. All right. I'm back, sort of. Well, you can't see me. I am back. We've got my son's safety scissors. the best scissors for the job. So this is Axlebox. Is this different for the Carrera? What do you mean? This is for Carrera. So the Axlebox was designed to be used on a Carrera. I'm going to keep that because it's got the actual negative and positive on it. So let's strip these guys down. Bit of Liam Payne. Strip that down for me. So we're going to strip that down. I'm going to need some tape as well. I don't know if I've got any electrical tape on hand. We'll do that last. I do have to tape all this stuff down properly. But of course, in true my fashion, I haven't got everything I need right here, right now. Fatboy Slim. Right here, right now. Okay, so I'm just going to, what I'm doing at the moment off camera is try not to cut my fingies, but I'm also just stripping the wire. And it's actually quite thick wire. That's not a good thing to do. It's really, really thick. Yeah, boy. Yeah, it's really thick. Why is it so thick? It's really good gauge wire on this. What scale track are you working on? 132, 124. So just a standard Carrera track. Just a standard. Nothing too serious. But we are trying to make sure that this wire is seriously thick. I'm trying not to cut through it because we don't want to go any shorter because I have cut this quite short. Here we go. Here we go. Do you get fishing? What do you mean by fishing, mate? Do I get fishing? This is on TikTok. Do I get fishing? I understand it, yes. You throw a rod in, you catch some fish. Is that what you mean? Do I get fishing? Do I get... What the hell does that even mean? Rampage, thanks for the follow, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Rest in peace. Yeah, he was a good singer. You got it too, you got it. Little lost on the... What is Carrera? Carrera is the brand of slot car track that I'm working on. Let me quickly show you a logo. So that's Carrera. It's back to front. Oh, my dad. Dad, I'm live. So the slot car track, I'll show you from behind. That is a Carrera slot car track. It's an Austrian brand. I'm in Austria, but it's worldwide. And we're working on just making this a bit more user-friendly for other brand cars. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense. If it doesn't, of course he is. Oh, God. Hold on a tick. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call whilst I'm trying to go live. So I'm going to quickly strip this one as well. Now, I am taking my time because it's actually not that hard to do. We will get this running today, I reckon. Once I get the powering done, which is what we're doing right now, then it's pretty much full steam ahead. I've just got to make sure I wire it all the right way around because then it won't work. Now, I did have issues with the switcher box originally. This is the original, so please don't use this as today's quality stuff. He has definitely advanced in what he can do with the axle box. But for me, this is exactly what I need to get it working today. This is really thick gauge. And yes, I do need more tools. Feel free to sponsor me. $1 a day, please. The issue I'm going to have, I think, with the soldering is this gauge wire is a lot thicker than what we're going to solder to. So I hope it actually does go together. All right, done. I'm going to quickly flash this off. I'm going to put some solder on the tips. So I'm going to do that as well. So we're going to solder up the tips of these, what we've just completed. Where is my old man stand? Is that gone somewhere? I've got like a little old man stand that holds the wire in place, but I think I can just bend this backwards to me and try not to burn my friggin' fingers off. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm just going to quickly put some solder on this wire. So when we do go to try and solder it, it's going to be easy for us to marry them up. I don't know what the exact word is, but I call it flashing, or tipping, or dipping, or you guys can tell me what it is. I'll read the chat in a minute on YouTube. Sorry guys, let me just quickly flash this off. Now the other issue you got to find, and again guys, I'm not a professional, but I'm just going to tell you what I've learned doing this because I am really bad at it. Try to be careful how much heat you're putting on anything electrical, because once you start putting heat on a circuit board, if you hold it there for too long, you can do damage. So just keep that in mind. Try and be very quick with everything that you're doing on these. I'm only doing wiring at the moment, but realistically, if I hold this on there too long, it will heat up down the wire back to the main base. So I am being very cautious on how I do that because I don't want to fry anything. And it is an old system again, so I'm hoping it still works, and I don't want to have any chances of ruining that. Now I don't have a good soldering iron. I recommend getting a good soldering iron that you can control heat. I can't control heat with this one. I'm just gonna be a dickhead and do it the best I can. So pretty much just tinning. I think it's called tinning. Oh, there we go. I just read that. Yeah, tinning. As I was about to come to the camera, I'm like, I think it's called tinning, and someone wrote tinning. So yes, it is called tinning. What did I say? Flashing. I'm not welding. Well, I'm not in a park. That's tonight. I flashed tonight. All right, so that's all tinned off. Tinning, thank you, brother. So now we're going to attach red and red. Very simple. Well, for the normal person. For me, not so simple. If you have any heat shrink wrap, please use that. Heat shrink is the way to go. I'm going to quickly read some, not sure, haven't done that. Tinning the wire, yes. Good luck, man. Thank you, mate. Answer your dad. Answer your dad. This live is not more important than anything he has to say to you, man. You never know how long you have to go with him. I only spoke to him about half an hour ago, so I will call him back. I do appreciate that. You are correct, family first. But I did talk to him, so I won't be on here all day. I will call him back. Career really needs something like the Omni slot box that will make things better, but I don't know if they have done something like that due to marketing purposes. So no, they haven't done it. I had an interview with them in 2023 when I was here last time. And whilst I'm talking, I'm going to go grab my little grandpa box. 2 seconds. I thought I had it outside, but I don't. Oh, here it is. I did have a conversation with them in 2023, which you can actually see live on their YouTube channel. It's the only live they've ever had, and it's me and them. And we had a conversation around that, and this was going into the 2024 slot car season where they were starting to release information about their 2024 season. And one of the questions during the interview with the designers, so the main guy there, and if you want to go watch it, it was a great live. Bad quality when it comes to filming, but it was good that I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with them. I did raise that question numerous times. I never say never. I mean, Scalextric has it. If you are a Scalextric user, they have a digital switcher box internally, but they also have some stuff that they can't do, which is, ghost car mode. So every system has their pros and cons, but in today's day and age, these slot car companies need to facilitate as much as they can their competition cars. So you've got brands that are outside the toy world that not many people know about, who don't know anything about slot cars, but they still need to make sure that they can use those on their track, because that's the cars that people race. We don't go and race regularly Carrera cars, which you can, but BRM, Revo, NSR, all those kind of brands are the ones that people step up to onto their tracks. And if you can't run them easily, well, they're going to go and find a different source. Or I still recommend them to put a switcher box in. It ain't hard. Well, it might be. I can't even solder. So this is the problem with this soldering iron. It literally is not hot anymore. Come on. I'm just going to get some new stuff. I'm just going to load it up. Load it up. I feel important when I do this, but I know I'm doing a bad job. I'm like, yes, I'm doing something, but I'm not really doing a good job. All right, so that is working. So making sure I've got a really good connection. Realistically, you should actually cover that up. I probably will with some electrical tape after the fact, but we want to test this today, this millennial. I'm literally going to load it up and just really go to town with the connection. Yeah, that's a good one. That looks good. All right, so we've got red and red. We have got red and red. Now we're going to go black and black. Give it a little bit of a blow. Well, it's actually black and blue, which is a bit confusing. So even that slight bit of soldering then actually heated up my little grippers. So do be careful with the heat. It does get hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, so we're going to line this one up again, trying to keep it in order so we don't cross them over. I really should cross this one under because we are going, no, we're going that way. Okay, we're going to keep it like that. These little things here, this little grabby thing that I'm using is really, really good for beginners. My aircon wall plug broke, like one of the 3 fangs broke. It's high voltage. Would it be easy home fix? I'm not a Sparky, so don't take me for granted. But if you got 3, one's going to be negative, positive, and ground. Which one broke? But oh man, be careful with that shit. That's high powered, man. I don't take my word for it though. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because if you get electrocuted, well, there goes my career. I don't even have one. Let's be honest. All right, so let's feed some solder onto this bugger. And then we're going to move it around so it's nicely evenly spread. That actually grabbed really well. Beautiful. I'll go check it out. Do you have a 3rd gen Camaro slot car? 3rd gen, no. I've got the latest gen Camaro NASCAR, but not the real car. What is the stream called? There's multiple past lives showing up for me. Which one are you looking for? There's 132 people watching this right now, and yeah, no one wants to like it. Good luck, man. We had 600 watching yesterday, and I think we had 99 likes. So, look, I'm just glad people are stopping in. Let's be grateful for that. All right, so them 2 are done. I'm happy with that. I do have some electrical tape downstairs, so I will wrap that later. I just want to move on with the soldering because this is where it gets nasty. So I'm going to do a quick bit of reading because I know. Gently remove the copper tabs inserted in the track by tugging on the wires. Using a soldering iron with a little fresh solder on the tip, gently heat up the wires in the 2 locations shown. Yeah, in there. It looks completely different to what I'm looking at, but that's okay. That's completely different to what I'm looking at, but that's all right. I think we can work around that. And then remember, this is a newer CU as well compared to the one that I did many, many moons ago. So we're removing those. We've connected this, which is amazing. We're now moving on to doing the rest. Ooh, this is where it gets confusing. Critical installation. Critical. Red, blue track rails should be connected to the lane opposite to the CU. Red, blue track rails. Red, blue. Red, blue. Red, blue should be connected to the rail opposite. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep. So red go, yep, okay. That makes a lot of sense. We're just gonna go with it. Right lane, left rail. Yep. That makes sense. So we're just gonna literally jam this baby down. We're gonna jam him down. I'm so hungry. So looking at the diagram, this is what happens. We're gonna put him right there. I'm gonna lean over and burn the shit out of my hand. So just bear with me for 2 seconds, guys. Someone call, I don't know what the ambulance is here. I think it's 11122. It ain't 000, I know that for a fact. All right, come on, solder. Yep, it's working. Come on. Yeah, this is where I was speaking about before, how the solder doesn't want to tin off. for whatever reason, the solder that's on our wire isn't wanting to marry up with the solder that's already down. So I might have to... Come on, you bastard. Let's put some fresh solder on these tips. Let's tin them off, because that's what we need to do. Otherwise, we're going to be chasing our tail on trying to connect these. Using my little old man grabbies. Why do you know that for a fact? Did you try it? Hold on, I'll go back and check it out. What is the stream called? There's the one you mentioned it a few minutes ago, that Talking with Carrera. It's on their channel. So if you go to Carrera's YouTube channel, so their actual YouTube channel, go to their live tab. It's the only one there. Why do you know that for a fact? Did you try it? What did I say, Big Turt? Did I say something? Did I say something that I shouldn't have? That has been tinned like a friggin' professional. Look at that. 112 watching. Thank you guys for hanging on. I know it's not as fun as the last streams, but I do appreciate people stopping in. We aren't racing right now. We will hopefully be racing in a minute. This shouldn't take too long, to be honest. We are moving along famously. I don't like that connection, but it's connected, but I honestly don't like it. But it's going to stay there like that. All right, now let's tin off our blue, because we need to add some extras on this little baby. I should really cut these down because they are way too long. But for now, just to get it going for the camera, come on. Welcome back. And then trying to find the sweet spot on this soldering iron is shit. I'm turning it around because I should be cleaning the tip, but I'm not. Sue me. Here we go. Perfect. All right, then we're going to put this one on the opposite side, which is what it's asked for. Let's get some straightness out of this wire because we don't want to go in crooked. Oh, this soldering iron is shit. It literally cost me like $12. My own fault. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that connection. I'm going to go here. I don't like how that's going in. Yeah, it's that soldering. No, that's okay. That one works better. I might actually redo this one because it doesn't look good. No, let's just leave it. I don't want to stuff with it. Oh, on to the next one. Tweaker much. Tweaker much. Why do you know tweaker much? What does that mean? The triple O's for ambulance. Well, triple O's for everything. Ashley, hello mates. How are you? Triple O's for everything in Australia. You then choose. I should know. I used to work for them. I used to work for Triple O. Why are they being replaced? Am I removing all of those wires? I don't think I should be, but maybe I am removing all of those wires because it looks like I am. Oh, I think I've done something wrong here because it's showing me that there's wires. They want me to remove both of them because this is it. Once we do this, it's game over. Like seriously, once we do this, these two wires, we are good to go. But I think I was meant to remove those completely. Depending on your comfort level due to soldering wires, note the position of the board in the photo. If you're unsure about soldering, gently remove the copper tabs inserted in the, yes, depending on your comfort wires, the circuit board, and connect the power wires to the CU red and blue left. I don't know if those wires here are meant to stay. There's two wires running straight through. I don't know if they're meant to stay. And that's what's confusing me because I don't see that here on the picture. Ignoring the wire underneath the track that is wired to the lap counting photo eyes, you'll notice the CU circuit board has two wires, red and black. The red and black wire lanes, fig 8, These connections will have to be broken for the analog system to function. Aha! So I've got to get rid of those. Goodbye. Goodbye, you bastards. That makes sense because, so I understand that. Let me just get rid, no, let me show you quickly. So if we look down here, are you going to run any races today? Yes, I will. I'm good and glad I could catch another live stream. I'm glad you can watch, mate. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm about to remove wires that are going directly across track. So I'm going to see if I can point you down here. You can see here there's a black and red. They are going directly from rail, let's call that rail B to rail A. Now with the digital setup, that's where they're sharing the power, but because we're trying to run analog as well, you can't have power sharing between the two rails. It just can't happen. Otherwise, having a fully powered track, the analog cars won't work. You need power to B solely by itself and power to A, they can't cross over. So what we need to do is remove these two without burning a hole through the friggin' track. We will try and run some cars, definitely guys. We'll be testing this very soon. I think after I remove these two wires, we can go straight to the testing phase. So then that's gone, and we need to remove them over here as well, which makes sense because that's what's bridging the wires across to create power that the analog won't be able to use. And now HCU will then replace that and say, we don't have that wire anymore. We'll just send power when we need to over to the digital side. Very smart. Let's just lift this up. Okay, done. So now I'm confident to put the other wires in. We're going to tin them off. That was a very simple fix. Let's lift you up. Get up here, you bastards. There we go. Oh, shit. So now we're going to quickly tin off the last two wires and then we'll put it together and we'll run it. It should work. Should work. I don't know if it is going to, but I'm going to quickly tin this off. So I would say give us another 5 minutes and we'll be seeing if this thing actually functions. Didn't take us too long though. If it was somebody else, it would have been quicker. But let's be honest, I'm piss farting around a bit. So let's just tin this guy off. This soldering iron is shit. It's really, really bad. All right, that's definitely enough now. So we've got that one. Let's move him out the way. Where's our yellow? Now the hard part is putting all this back together so it's not a mess. And we're going to sort that out in a minute. I don't really care too much about that straight away. I just want to see if we can actually get this working. Oh, that's a real bad connection there. Let's just fix this guy up. Oh, that dropped on my jeans. Oh, that was hot. That's hot. Almost burnt my friggin' crutch to pieces. I'm 41, I don't think I need it anymore. All right, so this is going to be left lane, left rail. All right, so now let's feed this through gently. This is where it gets a bit tricky. Fingers crossed it works for you. You just jinxed me. So these two are happily done. We will fix, I'm probably have to rejig these later on. So now we know the positioning of them. I'll probably rewire these better because I want to actually get these laying flat, so they won't. Now let's feed these guys up and over. We're going to try and keep these in pairs. Pairs, I tell you, pairs. And which one's left lane? Okay, yellow. So yellow is now our first one. So yellow is going to go, let's read it, left lane, left rail. Yep. So now let's put yellow, because it was yellow, like this. Lie him down, left lane, left rail. Come on, this soldering is really, really bad. Come on, heat up. Here we go, here we go. Yep, connected. Last step. He's been electrocuted. Last step, and then we're on to, oh shit, come on. Bend that wire around. Let's just put him in here. We do have to trim these wires back. They are way too long, but that's a tomorrow Trav's problem. today we're just going to see if we can get it working. Oh, this is what I don't like. It's starting to get really hot. All right, that's it. Stop. Is it connected? It doesn't like it. All right, done. Let's disconnect this thing before I friggin' burn my eyeballs out. Let's just get rid of him. And that is done. That's the CU done. So I don't want to rush this part. I want to make sure we can push all these wires in gently. Oh, shit, these are touching. I forgot. Ah. Do I have any tape here? I did have tape. Don't laugh, but we're going to use some real dodgy tape just for a second, and then we'll change that in a tick. This is not the tape that's going to be on here forever, but I don't want to short out our CU in the first turn on. So let's just wrap these with some really shitty tape. Something's better than nothing. So we'll just wrap that, make sure it's nicely pressed. We are adding a digital analog switcher to our slot car track. So we're upgrading the Carrera system so we can allow digital and analog cars to work together. We've done it before. There is a video way back on my channel when we first introduced the world to axle box. So it has been done, but we're doing it again because I have been testing a lot of cars recently, and this makes for an interesting live stream, I guess. All right, so that's really badly done. Please don't copy that in the future, anyone. But we have got our wires sorted. So we're going to put this in. Now, this is the hard part. This is where you need to know how long the wires need to be, because this is going to be an absolute shit show to try and get all this to fit back in, because we need to put this over the top, and that ain't going to work right now. So eventually I would cut these down to a size that suits where we need it to be. So you would probably cut these almost in half, and then you'd be having directly running wires straight through the center. But I don't know how we're going to do this without being a friggin' monster and just chewing it all up. So let me see if I can actually just put it back on first. There we go, this way. So let's just feed that through there, and we'll just jam it in. We don't give a shit. Let's just jam it in for now. You guys want to see this work, don't you? Yeah, I do have electrical tape, but I don't have it right here. Sorry, guys, I don't have it right here. I did mention that. You're going to be able to pick on a lot of stuff, people, because I haven't got everything with me right here. But yes, once we know this works off camera, I'll be stripping it down and getting it done that way. So don't fear, it will be done properly, but there's only limited stuff I can do in our stream. So that one, I see what it wants to do. You want to run these two, hold on, you want to run these two this way. Yep, that's how it works. So these all need to be done. These all need to be ran. Oh, this is shit. And then that one goes in there. Yep, we need to chop these down. That's way too long. But let's just feed it in. Let's just see how it goes. So it's going to go in through there, like so. Yep, we know that one goes through here. And then this one goes through the guts. And you can see how much of a shit show that is. But just to get this working, let's just walk it over. I'm going to do this all upside down, I think. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Hold on. Hold on. I do not like that, because I do want to make this work properly. So how do I get this to fit without being a dickhead? We're going to tape everything. That's what we're going to do. We're going to tape that like that. Done. We'll be back to fix this, don't worry. But I actually can't get the base on because there's too much wiring. Look how bad this tape job is. Oh, get in there, you bastard. Look at this cheap shit tape. Yeah, we're safe. Just so it doesn't get electrocuted, I'm just going to put everything in a bit of a bunch. These guys can bunch up, which won't let me put the lid on, but that's okay. Just so I know that I've got control of the wires. There we go. They're going to stay right there. I'm going to tape them down into place as well. Perfect. Which is how the original one actually is. So these wires are normally taped flat to the surface. So the ones we removed were actually taped to the surface of the track like this. So if I just do that for now, TikTok wants me to do a puzzle. Fucking give me a break, TikTok. Yep, so that goes down like that, and then we'll do the same with these ones. just so there's enough. Yep, we'll tape that one down as well. And then that should get us sort of in a position where I can actually sit the track down. And I think later's stream will be us making this look a bit better. So let's see how that goes back on. It's better than it was before. Better than it was before. But you can see there's a lot of shit we've got to put back into this. So I'm going to feed them all back in the best I can. Hopefully nothing comes apart when I'm doing that. We don't know if it will. And then I'm going to just try and get a screw or two in, because there is way too much wires going on. Shit. Yeah, way too much. Damn it. Oh, this isn't good, legends. I can't get it to go in properly because I need to cut the wires shorter. Oh, it's a mess. All right, let's just jam it into place right now. Jam it in. Who gives a shit? It just means we won't be able to go do a full lap, but I'll be able to actually test to see if it works. So I'm going to bring you guys over. Just give me 2 seconds while I just organise putting some track together. So the only reason I put the base on the back, try using zip ties. No, I'm going to cut it. Hello, Ledge. I'm going to cut it later on to make it fit better. So although it should have cable ties, I'm actually going to cut the wires and short them. So then we've actually got enough later on. So let me just quickly build up a track. I do not recommend doing this way. You should have it all back together properly, but I'm not going to be driving it around too crazy. I've got the back on enough so we've got no shorts. And now we're just going to see how it runs. So let me move all this stuff out the way. And then we're going to put it to the test. Am I confident it's going to work? No. It is an old system. I think I did have issues with it a while ago. But you know what? We're going to give it a crack anyways. Here we go. Let's put this guy in like this. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. So this one's in. You guys are here. We've got TikTok. TikTok's ready to watch me catch on fire. Let's just put TikTok there. And you guys are going to get the best seat in the house. All right, so I'm going to put you guys right here. You can see the whole pretty much. You can see enough of the track. I'm going to now plug the power in. I think we need to leave it, so digital's, so analog's down, digital's down. I'm just going to see if I can get it going to the point that it actually works. And if it works, I'm surprised. Here we go. All right, so we're plugged in. Hey! What the? It works. First shot. So I do. So there we go. It is working. Yes, we need to fix it. I need to cut the wires. But the big test now is, and sorry TikTok, I have to probably say goodbye to TikTok because I can't hold the camera. Thanks for watching TikTok, I appreciate it. TikTok's now gone. So the digital function is working. You aren't gonna catch on fire. maybe. So that's the digital part. We know the digital is working. That's working fine. So let's bring the cars back around. This is the real test. So that's 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars. This is the test. I'm going to go grab a scale-electric. Yes, which one can I grab? Ooh. So we're going to test it with the scale-electric because we know for a fact that the scale-electric, and we're going to use one of their latest cars, we know for a fact that this shouldn't work on this track because it's not digital. So I'm hoping that when I put it down right now, it wants to take off like a rocket. So that's the test. I'm going to put it on. Hello, Mega Digger. We're going to put it on track. And if it powers up, that's a good sign. Perfect. It wants to drive, which is good because that's what normally happens. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the system and I'm going to stick it into analog mode. And turn it back on. And this is where I don't know how it's going to work. So we're not getting any power, which is a great sign, but I also don't know if I've turned. I think you're an idiot, Trev. Sorry guys, hold on. Oh, you need your, oh shit, didn't like that. Need your controller on, dickhead. All right, so controller's on, please work. I can't remember how to do this part. Hold on, here we go. You're kidding me. We're back in business. Look at that. Non-digital car. We've got friggin' Fast and the Furious. Now the cool thing about this is we can actually, I believe we can control the speed. So if I go to speed, can we control the speed? Because I think you can use the full digital functions other than the lane changes. There you go. So now it's really slow, full speed. That is full speed. Fingers on the trigger, all the way down. That's as fast as it goes. Now if I go back to the speed section without friggin' electrocuting myself, I'm gonna turn it up to full ball. I'm gonna go balls to the floor. And now, oh yeah, it wants to do burnouts. So now, so we actually can control speed. Watch the straight. Friggin' hell, that's far. So I forgot about that. We can use the full function of the digital system. We just can't change lanes. And we can't obviously have multiple cars like digital. So it works, it still works. I'm actually very impressed that this still works. So we've got one controller, that's working good. The next thing is I wanna see if I put it on the other lane and I code it to this lane, will both lanes work? Because that's sometimes a problem. Oh, you are kidding me. Both lanes work perfectly. So sometimes you'll get power on one lane working better than the second lane. That's awesome. It is awesome. Imagine it's just launching. Yeah. Wow! Victory! Hello, Mina. Hello. Alaska. Hello, Alaska. Hyperslots. Hello, mate. How are you? You aren't going to catch on fire. I know I upset people. We didn't catch on fire. So let's bring him back around just to make sure we know how this works. I'm going to turn it back off again. We're going to shut it down. I'm going to bring you guys over to here to show you how the actual box actually works. Now, remember, this is the older version. He has done some pretty good updates now. So there's our axle box. Now, what I am doing, we've got a couple of functions on here that allow us to go digital analog. I know you can't read that, it's too dark, but there's little two switches in the center. If you press them up, so they're clicked up, they're almost like launching rocket buttons. That's analog, so A on, and analog mode. So you're turning analog on and you're turning the chip to analog mode. That's what we're in right now. So if we want to go back to digital, we simply flick it down to digital, analog off, turn it back on. Oh shit, take the car off. Turn it back on. And now we should be back into digital mode. And that's as simple as that. And to do, hello from UK, hello Jake. Is it Jake? Hello Jake, hello mate. And then to go back to analog, it's the same thing. Turn off the power, flick the switch up. Now these buttons here are only for analog only. So these red buttons have got LEDs. Mine sometime work. That's when you actually turn the lane on. So you can actually turn one of the lanes off or have them both on. That's just choosing which lane you're using. Nothing too serious there. So let me pick you back up by the throat. Flip the corner around the axle box when you screwed it together. It crunched. Flip the cover. Yeah. You're right. I did. I screwed the box up. I screwed a lot of things up. Yes, I have to actually turn, you're bang on. I've got the lid around the wrong way. So now we're going to go back to analog mode and see if they drive. Perfect. Happy with that. Really happy with that. I think that's a success. Now the question is, would you like to see me fix this live? Because I think that will be quite boring for you guys. 114 minutes we've been going for. So there we go. We've got our axle box. It is working. I'm going to take these cars because I do need to fix the track now to make sure it's working better. For those that want to hang around, I can probably do it live if you're interested in continuing watching, but that might be boring. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did then, but again. So I'm going to unplug it. Let me know, guys. Does anyone want to hang around watching it live? Fix it live. Okay. All right. Stop yelling at me. All right. Come back here, crazy bastards. I need to go to the toilet though. I'm trying to get out of it. I want to go to the toilet. You guys are bullies. So now we're just going to pretty much went to Mr. Slot Car today. Had a blast. Awesome setup. Yeah, it is a good place. They need a digital track though. None of these centres need to go digital. That's my advice. All these centres that have got the big analog tracks need to go digital as well. They're really selling themselves short for not having a digital track in their centres, because in my opinion, if I owned a centre, I would have as much digital stuff as I can, because you're selling it. That's what the people are buying, and they're buying the sets. So why don't you have a setup for them to see? But yes, I would be definitely having a digital setup. So I'm going to do this first, because someone said we will wait. Go to the toilet. You don't want to come with me? Oh, I'm going to turn this around because you were right. But it is getting cold, so maybe we'll go for another 5-10 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to get it all done, but it is freezing out here, to be honest. I am freaking cold. Breakthrough logs. Yes, it wouldn't be boring. Me and my son love these. When and what would be the best to buy? When and what would be the best to buy? So give me some more info. That's the question I get asked the most. I get that asked regularly, and I don't want to give you poor information. Firstly, where do you live, mate? What country? Don't say Alaska, because you have a lot of issues. So here's a couple of questions you can answer in once. I can't do that formula. I can't actually make a track yet. This is not my space here, mate. This backyard area is all I've got to use, and realistically, in the next 2 months, you're going to see this place turn into a snowfield. It's going to get very, very cold and snowy. So I actually can't make a permanent track out here. Watch this space. I always say that. Yeah, watch this space. We will do something in 2026, I think. Something a bit more permanent. So at the moment, this is all I've got, guys. This is how I'm working. The UK. Okay, so you've got two options here. Here's a couple of questions. How much space do you have? That's the first major question I always ask people. What space do you have? Secondly, go and look at the catalogue of the three major brands that do the toy brands. You've got SCX, which I'd say wouldn't be very big in UK. You've got Scalextric, which for you is very easy to get. And you've also got Carrera, which you can get in the UK. Now, I would go onto their website and have a look at the cars and see what cars you like. If you like the Carrera cars, well, that answers your question. If you like the Scalextric cars, well, that answers your question. Secondly is space. For Carrera, you need a lot of space. The track is huge. The track is, you're going to get more track in position with Scalextric than you would with Carrera. I choose Carrera for my layout because it's bigger, and of course, being a wannabe content creator, when I review certain brands, they are bigger than the others. So I have to have a track that suits. If you're going digital, both digital systems will give you what you want. The only difference between the two pros and cons between Carrera and Scalextric is it's still crunching on this side. Oh, yuck. Yeah, that was still crunching, but who cares? The plus for Carrera is you can have ghost cars up to 6, which is good because most people do drive on their own. The plus for Scalextric is what I'm doing right here is building in a switcher box so you can run digital and analog. Scalextric already has that built into their system. So you got a switch on the side of the box. It's behind me. I can go grab it if you want to see it. And on their actual control unit, there is a little switch that you switch, and then you can drive your analog cars. So they've already got that built in, but they are missing the ghost cars. So you can't actually race against ghost cars. You have to race against a friend or a family member, up to 6 people. So they've both got their pros and cons. They really do. And I think that makes it hard for deciding. Yeah, you can do something like this if you go Carrera. That's completely up to you. Then you got the best of all worlds. But realistically, you got to choose what suits you best. You're not a you're not a wannabe. You're a small content creator. Nothing. I'm very small, mate. A very small content creator. We're getting there. I think we've been doing it. We've been doing it long enough to know how far we can go. And I've been blessed to be able to do this for fun. But that's all it is. It's just for fun, guys. I don't get paid to do this. Everyone knows that. I mention it every time. I don't get paid. I would love to do it full time, but I'm going to have to do that. I'm not going to touch that anymore. I'm going to have to do more than slot cars for other brands to take me serious. And unfortunately, having a fully paid content creator in the slot car world, it's not realistic. And it's not the reason why I do it. But it'd be great if it could, because I think this hobby, out of all the hobbies that I'm into RC, I'm into all the hobbies. I do a lot of hobbies. This one needs the biggest push. This one needs content. This one needs, people at the front. They need a face. They need faces of the hobby, not just one. They need people, and it does look busy on YouTube. We've got a fair few content creators in this space, but it's not big enough compared to the rest of the hobbies. And unfortunately, I'm going to say this, and some brands like it, some don't. It's still very old-fashioned. It is a very old-fashioned hobby still. So there's a lot to learn with this hobby. So I'm going to leave that. I think these ones here are really good already. We're going to shorten these ones because they are way too long. I'm just going to shorten them right up because this is going to be a permanent fixture for the track. So I think I realistically have to go like, how much shorter are we going to go? I'm going to deheat those. Oh, we need our finger burner back. Get here, you bastard. We need the finger burner back. Come on, get over here. Don't be scared. All right, well, let's wait 16 minutes for that to charge up. Keep in mind that the cars are specific to each brand. So if you like a specific car, check out what is available. Do you watch Kevin Tolbolt? Love him, love him, love him. He's an amazing RC. Yeah, love him. There's a couple. There's Kevin. There's another older fella. Can't remember his name. When I say older, my age. There's a couple. There's really big RC content creators. Oh, Airsoft, really cool. I would go Carrera if you have the room. Otherwise, go Scale Electric. You're not what. It's hard to give people the answer. Like, yes, I understand people want to know, Trav, tell me what to buy. Everyone has a different suitability. Like, it really is. It's, do you like the look of the Carrera cars? Do you like to look at the Scale Electric cars? I mean, they're both for a toy brand. Whilst this is heating up, I'll show you. For a toy brand, they both do a bloody good job. I know you can't compare them to the big brands like the hobby grade, but they both do pretty good looking cars. Yep, quality control issues, that does happen. That's not my fight. I mean, if I had my choice, I'd love all these to be made in their own country. But making them in China is just the easiest way for these brands to make money, which is what they need to do. They need to make money. If they don't make money, you don't get slot cars anymore. But it's again, the hobby is very old. The hobby is an old-fashioned hobby. I'm 41. I'm not young, and we need younger content creators getting into the hobby. I mean, I'm one of the youngest content creators, I think. And again, I'm not young. I'm old. I think the acceptability for digital hasn't been there. Not many people have accepted it. It's been out since 2005. Like, it's been out a long time, and it just wasn't accepted by the community that's, that was in at the time. And I'd say that's in now. A lot of the big names don't do digital. A lot of the big content creators that you would follow don't really touch digital. Some might, but they don't. On a whole, it's straight back to wood routed tracks and going around in circles. And I think that's where there's a missed opportunity to get younger people, because this is like a video game, but it can be taken serious as well. And of course, the big boys in the UK, DIECAST, they do a lot of digital racing, but on a professional level, and that kind of shit is what you need to see. Like, I've been to the top, analog races, and it's been a lot of fun watching it. But to be real, you're racing yourself. You're just racing the analog side of it. You're racing you and the time. How many laps can you get cleanly done in the time that you've been given? And you've got drivers beside you, but they're doing the same thing. And whoever does it the cleanest is the winner. That's the basis of analog racing. Where digital, you have to pit, change lanes. Yes, I know analog has pitting. Don't get into the debate. Oh, you can actually pit. Yeah, I know. But you're staying in your lane. I mean, give me a break. Cut somebody off, for Christ. You don't see race cars staying left. That's just my opinion. I think digital is the future, and it's why I'm heavily invested in it, is because it's friggin' awesome. It's friggin' awesome. All right, I think we're going to go about there. Actually, I'll go a bit higher because I'm a bit scared, to be honest. Let's go a bit higher. Let's go there. And we're using the scissors this time because I stuffed around before. So they go there. Yeah, that's better. So now we're going to have ourselves a bit of a connection. Now, if I don't get this right, we're screwed because I can't lose any more length. But also on my channel, you will see other stuff. 2026 is going to be more and more of other hobbies. I have decided I was going to make a new channel, but it's a lot of work. And I don't think it's necessary for me to make another channel to still be in this hobby. And I think any content that's on, a bigger content creator's channel for the hobby is good, because if an RC person watches me do an RC stream or whatever, and they know that my name is that slot car guy, well, they know I love slot cars, surely that helps. But I know a lot of people aren't interested in that because they're like, well, we follow you because you do slot cars. Yeah, well, it's time to change a bit, I think. And again, like I said before, with the brands, I think the brands need to have a big look at, where they want to be in 10 years' time. Because if they don't start accepting the digital is definitely the answer to push onto the young ones, that's the future, the hobby won't be around or it will be around, but it'll be very niche in the next 20 years because a lot of the older gents are getting older and, they slowly, unfortunately, die off from it or whatever. And then you're left with a handful of people that are pushing it. Oh, come on. This is such thick gauge. It was only that little bit. It's hard to find info on slot cars. As Trav said, we need younger. Love digital, so keen to race. Yeah, Churches. Churches back in Australia, very good mate of mine, brother from another mother, won an Australian title. He won the Revo, one of the Revo races. I forgot which one it was, at GT. I can't remember. So he's heavily invested into racing analog at a high level. But Dave Churches is also well aware that digital is a big part of it. And that's what I love to see with people at his level. The boy can race. He knows his shit. And he's only new at it. Like, I think 2 years now we've been talking and he's really gone, head first. But he's the kind of person that I really respect because he's come into the hobby as a fresh face, gone into the analog world in a short time, starting to kick ass. Sorry, I know I'm pumping you up, mate. You don't like that, but we're going to. But still wants to get digital going. And I love that. I love that. Rubbing is racing. It is. Bloody oath it is. Bloody oath it is. Yeah, the younger generation is what's going to keep it alive. Look, it's good having, I won't say I have a close connection with every brand. I do try and influence some of the brands. I'm lucky to have some brands send some stuff. It's not as easy as people think. I don't get every brand that's reluctant to send stuff to me, and the reason I like receiving stuff is I get to check it out and go, what needs to be changed, and of course provide feedback. But that's getting harder to do because, to be honest, they're all running their own social media stuff now, and I think a lot of the brands are just happy to do their own thing. But if you take it that next step further, this hobby should be viewed on YouTube in racing all over the world. Like, imagine digital racing or slot car racing should be almost a permanent fixture, and it's not, which I don't understand why it isn't. Well, I do know, because it can be boring watching an analog race. Right lane, right rail. Just make sure I'm not going to connect the wrong one. I'm in Queensland, Dave. You can come over and try my... Yes, there we go. Come on, Aussies, get together. I'll try and come from Austria. I'll fly over. Hey Trav, I was looking at being able to control the slot car over the internet. I know that Scale Electric had the feature previously. Have you looked into this at all? I haven't, because I should. that is something that I would love to do. I mean, I have mentioned that before in streams, that it'd be great to have a track set up where people can sort of tune in and race from a distance. That'd be really, really good, because it would help the whole, if you can't attend to a track or a club that does, I guess, cover that off. It would be definitely possible. I guess you would have to get some kind of Wi-Fi chip installed into the car and blah, blah, blah. And there'd be a bit of mechanics behind it, which I'm not the person to understand it all. But there will be someone out there smart enough who could do it. It's just depending on if the market is there for it. And I've always said there's a lot of great ideas out there, but if there's not enough people to support the idea, it will die away. So the first thing we need to do is get people interested in slot cars again. And I know it looks busy, slot cars are back and all of that kind of stuff. It is, but it isn't. It's back into in a group, but it's not back where it could be. And I think once you build that, then worry about adding all these fancy features, because then people will actually be there to use it. So I'm big on innovation, but innovating something that no one's going to look at, like digital back in the day, is an innovation that's probably not worth investing in. So my advice is, if you want to see this hobby grow, support your content creators, whoever they are, and also support where you can the racing, or I don't know, you just got to spread the word. I know one of my passions would be to take a track on the road. I've always wanted to do that. And again, watch this space. That'll be the next venture I'll try and get into, is, visiting events with my own track. And, I don't have a big social media presence in the world, but hopefully enough to sort of make a bit of a dent when I go somewhere. Check out my channel. This is what we do. Take a track there. It will be digital. I can promise you now, it won't be analog. It will be bloody digital. I won't be taking any analog stuff out with me in the first instance, because that's not going to sell. That's not going to get people in. Going around. It's had its time. We need to add to that. So that's my goal. But that's my advice. Don't worry about innovating yet until we got a crowd, and we don't have a crowd. I'll use it as an example, and I love these races, but we just had a massive scale auto race on the weekend. And this is where it gets a bit sad, and I've got to float my boat here a bit, but it's not good. We had a massive race. Scale Auto had a race. I think they would have had, I don't know how many views it's had, maybe 1,000. I do a stupid live stream over the weekend, and we've had 180,000 views just doing my stupid live streams, driving digital tracks around the car. That should be the other way around. We should have these big races that are having 180,000 views, and my content shouldn't be getting that kind of views when we go live. Like the big races, we had the NSR one this year, which was impressive. I think that's had like 8,000 views. We've had the Electric Dream ones. I think that's up to like 7 or 10,000 views. I can't remember the actual numbers, but we should be getting views way above that. Disca, when they do their videos, they can get up to 1 million, and that's digital. That says something. But again, we're doing something wrong. And that's why I know for a fact digital is our last. Is it the answer? Yes. Will it save the slot car world? Probably not. But it will add something that young people can hopefully get stuck into. So I'm going to cut that about here, I think. Might have to redo these again. But that's my 2 cents. I haven't worked for any brands. That's not I can't say that I've done any of that. I'm not in any brand's pockets. It's, to be honest with you, I've kind of stepped away from worrying that much about it. It's not my job to make sure this hobby stays alive. It's I'm having fun with it now, where if I was employed or I did own a company, I'll be doing everything I can to make sure that this hobby stays around forever. But now I'm enjoying it. I can do the best I can, but I've sort of stepped back from getting too heavily involved. You might see the news. I will probably start it up again soon, but for me to do the news, it was costing me a day and a half, 2 days, and then filming. I had to do research and filming. The brands weren't really helping. Some were giving me some stuff, but I was searching it up myself. For what purpose though? Like, who's that helping? It wasn't helping me. It wasn't. I had to put my time and energy somewhere else, and that's looking at the digital side of it, because I was wasting my time there. I was wasting my time. So we might get back into that. I think I'll do it live if I ever get back into the news, so you guys and girls who are watching can get involved. But I've sort of adjusted where I put my time and effort, which is sad. No idea what's going on here, but you seem cool. Hope you have a fantastic day. Cheers, man. Who was that? I want to give him a shout out. Pavlov. Pavov. Thank you, mate. Good morning, everyone. Coffee is ready. Benny, get me a coffee, please. Got to go to work. See ya. See ya, brother. Thanks for watching. I was thinking that you could do it on a live stream. Slot car drag racing, cash days would be sweet. I'd love to do that. It would make good gambling. You could bet on what car you think will win. So that's what I've been doing with the digital stuff on here. If you guys want to bet on it, you can. But I've been running the digital ghost cars, and that's exactly what that's all about. You guys choose what it is. Dave said, yeah, I started racing at Slotties 2 years ago and loved it. And there's a few young people, the races. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. We want to see the young people. Able to control. Did I see Churchies at all come up? I thought I saw him. Oh, no, there he is. Retape the tags on in case you need to. Yes, correct. I will. I'm not going to completely finish this on live, guys. I actually have to go get my son from school soon. So I'm going to solder these last ones in and see if I can actually get the case on, and then that'll be it. We're dropped down to about 96. Thank you for those that have watched. This was a very, how do I say, low-key stream, so I do appreciate we've had some good numbers. I know we're not racing slot cars today, and that's where the numbers are. Yesterday was pretty crazy. The weekend was friggin' insane. I can't believe it. I think we had 750 watching at once. I'm thinking, bloody hell, that's just, you know. But I know these live streams are only for people that are interested. So thank you. Thanks for the support. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Well, I've got to say, I think we've had some of the biggest lives that any content creator in our word has had. I think if you go look at some of them, they're unfortunately, I wish they get more, of course. But we're actually getting some good numbers, which is great. And I do have to disclose, I know some people might think this is all fabricated. I can't fabricate the views on live streams. I don't pay for viewers. I don't pay for any of that shit. It is what it is. If people tune in, they tune in. And lately they have been, so thank you. Thank you. All right, yuck. Last one, let's tin these bastards off. I think we've got 2 to do here. And then I'll plug it all back in. And then we will probably wrap it up after that. So another probably 10 minutes, because I've got to go get my son, cook him some lunch. And then he's got German tonight, so I've got to take him back to school. The school system here is a bit different to Australia. They finish real early when they're young. He's only in grade 2, so they finish at lunchtime, so 12 o'clock. And then he's got an extra German class. Of course, he's not German, so he's catching up to speed. It's quite challenging to have kids here because they stay home a lot more than they go to school some days because they finish real early. I think it's when they get to it's secondary school. They call it gymnasium here. When they're like 10 or 11 is when they start going for a full day. So yeah, in Australia, my son will be at school all day, it's been a bit of a different sort of get into. We're getting used to that, but it's been an adventure. Life's an adventure. Have fun with it. All right, where do my tags go? Someone did say keep them, and I'll just throw them away. Left lane. Left lane. I don't like the look of that. Oh, have I done something wrong? Oh, I'm just going to do a double check here because I think Mr. thinks he's cool and he's going, no, it's cool. So left lane, right rail. So yellow is our closest. Yellow. Ooh. Let's go that way. Yellow is our closest. So I'm just going to wrap this one around like that. Put a bit of head on there. Who's your father? Oh shit, I'm burning the track. Do we have delivery? I've actually got some scenery coming from, what's the brand called now? I feel bad because I can't remember what it's called. Racing Room is now doing some scenery, so they actually sent me some stuff, which I think it's all pre-painted. I think it's wood. We're going to get it on the channel. I'll live stream it. I won't do a video on it because not many people will see it if I do a video, so we'll live stream it. But I believe I've got some of that stuff coming this week, which is exciting. So some new scenery stuff to look at. I think it's called Extra. Sorry, Racing Room, if you do watch this back, but once we get it, we'll get it right. So scenery is a massive thing in our hobby. All right. Yeah, I'm not liking this soldering. Oh yeah, done. I was like, I don't like this soldering, and boom, perfecto. What are we doing? We are fixing SLOTCARS Syndicate Racing via Trav's live stream. I'm down for that. SLOTCARS Syndicate. What? I'm not getting paid to watch this bullshit. This is bullshit. It was a great conversation. I haven't heard about SLOTCARS until this very stream, and I'm invested and will be back. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I will look into it more if you are keen. That's what I mean, Trav. How good would it be if people could control the car? Yeah, definitely, mate. Look into it. The more people that help me as well, like behind the scenes, if you've got anything that you want to try and get out there, and I'm happy to be like the face of trying to push stuff out there. But if you're interested in anything in this hobby, check it out. Let me know. Keep in touch with me, because I think it's hard to do everything on your own. I like what Dave just said, like a racing syndicate. I think every country should have their own slot car association, so it helps promote racing and everything like that. And of course, if Australia ever had one, I'll be the first to put my hand up and say, let's go. It just helps promote racing. And then obviously these ideas of driving wirelessly and all the rest of it. Yeah, if you are invested in that and you can look into it, keep me posted, because if it's worth looking at, you know, I will then talk about it as well, and hopefully that does help. Not saying that everyone's going to listen to me, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to just quickly tape these two together. I'm going to tape these down. That's a lot cleaner now. That's a real clean fit now. I'm happy with that. So I've got to make sure that these are inside some kind of... I'm just going to quickly tape that down there. And then now we'll then run through the second hole. Yep, that's right. And I'm going to tape these guys down. But I'm going to quickly do a dry run. He's going to do a dry run. I don't sing. I don't know why I'm singing. Just friggin' being a dickhead. So let me just put this in here. So it will eventually go down. It's just trying to get the friggin' shit to line up, because it is a pain in the ass with all these wires, but you can't go much shorter. So the main thing is I want to try and get it all to come out of its holes, what we've designed for it. And then we can actually start looking at where shit goes. But at the moment, it's going to be a bit tricky to push it all down. That is the only problem with this. You've got wires going everywhere. But for the sake of having wires going everywhere and you'll be able to drive your own analog/digital cars, it's well worth it. It is well worth it. So let's move those over there. There we go. We're looking, oh, hello, crunchy, crunchy. Yeah, that is good. I might just go straight down with that. That's really good. Yeah, so we found the sweet spot. Look at that. Hey, of course it's not going down because I haven't got a screw in there yet, but that's it. She's going to work. That's really good. That's really cool. And once it's all flat and back together, we've got ourselves, we are hitting high somewhere here. It's that one there. Yeah, so there you go. It's going to go back on. There you have it. I'm just waiting around for the fireworks when he plugs it in. He tested it. It already works. Yeah, it already works. It already works. What is the name of the converter box? This is Axle Box. Axle Box. If you do want one, email him. He's on Facebook. Tell him Trav sent you. He's a good guy. Just getting back into it, I found that the choices are unlimited, but at a price I desire. Single lane, timed analog Ninko with old style XX, white track added in, focus costs. Yeah, the old stuff works fine. If the digital isn't what you have to do, but the old track all works fine, and it's all still available. Go out there and get it, definitely. It's like I can get. What is the name of the converter box? Axle Box. All right, guys, thank you so much. There's only 73 left. I think you're well aware that I'm about to turn off. Thank you for everyone who did watch. Dave Churches, you're a legend. Go check him out. He's Australia's most wanted slot car racer. I will be doing live regularly, guys. I will try and get some long form videos out. I have slowed down on that a bit. It takes a lot of time. All good, mate. All good. And we'll see you in the next stream. And great success. We did not die. Thanks, guys. Bye. Wait, I'll turn this thing off.